So my name is Emma Clayton and I'm an emerging leader here at the King's DRI Centre. So I'm sponsored by an AR UK fellowship, so Alzheimer's Research UK sponsor my work, and I work on synapses, so on the connection points between two brain cells. So I'm very focused on these tiny little connection points that are one of the first things to go wrong during neurodegenerative disease. What I'm really interested in are the earliest events that go wrong during disease. So in our brain we have these connections between brain cells. Every single brain cell has approximately 1,000 connections. So within our brain there's about several trillion connections that exist. And these connections are the first things that are lost during disease. So we know that they're one of the earliest markers of disease-associated changes, and they occur before cognitive decline. So before you begin to lose brain function, you lose these connections between brain cells, but nobody knows why. And that's where my research is really focused, is trying to work out what's happening that's causing these connections to break down and why that leads to death of brain cells. So we use a combination of some very fancy techniques available here at the centre. So we use a thing called super resolution microscopy, and that allows us to see things at a tiny, tiny, tiny level. And we're also using cells from human patients that carry disease-associated mutations. We can then alter those cells so that they become brain cells within a dish, and we look at those because when they become brain cells in a dish, they do create those synapses or those connections between brain cells. And we can then use the super resolution techniques here, so the super resolution imaging we have available to us, to look specifically at what's happening at those points of connection. So we can already begin to see disease-associated changes in those cells, and what we're hoping to do is reverse those changes. So we're looking at ways to intervene early in disease. And this work will intersect really nicely with the work of other individuals within the DRI who are looking at ways to identify individuals at risk of disease. I think we're at that tipping point where we're really gaining significant insight into disease and can finally begin to modulate and provide therapeutics.